Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're taking another look here at AVAX, seeing what's going on. We have our bearish pennant and bearish rectangle pattern that kind of played out to the downside here with great success, by the way, too. Nice little profits here from AVAX at approximately 22% in roughly one trading day there. We also secured some profits with Caspa breaking through its all-time high and establishing higher highs and higher lows there. We'll talk about that later. I'm going to review that here next. But when it comes to AVAX, the important stuff we want to look at would be liquidation, because we discussed this yesterday, being kind of one of those points of contention, because there's a lot of liquidation downside here at about this 25.50 mark. So 25.60 rather is a heavy concentration of liquidation. Part of that got swept yesterday, of course, when we took profit. But when you look at the larger concentration here, you can see there's tremendous amount. There's basically 1 billion, no less than 1 billion, probably 1.5 billion if you add this all up together, between $24 and $25. That's a lot of liquidation. Strong chance the price is going to go to that level, but keep in mind there's a lot of support in the 25 to 26 level too. We can see a pretty significant buying candle here back in roughly overnight, sometime last night, when the price action came down as low as 25.80. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Either way, thanks so much for watching. Last thing I got to kind of preface with too, and this is very important. Not a lot of people know this because I keep forgetting to talk about it, but Bitunix is rolling out with a deposit bonus. This is active now until the end of the month, end of August, if you will. And we can see here, nice deposit rewards if you use my link to register or if you've used my link previously. So if you are trading with them under that link, then all good. If not, maybe consider using that link and taking advantage of that. It's a really cool feature. So let's look at the daily time frame, work our way down, kind of see. So we talked about these yesterday too. I was talking just in general, loosely, because one of my community members was like, what do you mean by AVAX is trash? And I use that term just kind of as a rough way to just describe how poorly the coin is doing. But these key level supports and resistances that we discussed here today or previously, they are still relevant, and that doesn't change a thing, right? So just because a coin is performing good or bad doesn't mean that these support or resistance levels won't work. I think we have a strong chance we see a bounce around that $25 to $26 mark, which kind of already happened, right? However, let's take a look and see if it's potential to go up or down. With the daily time frame, we're still under 50 on the RSI. Stochastic still swinging down, getting closer to the bottom, but we're still seeing money flowing away from this coin in general. So with that in combination with the MACD divergence, these are all bearish qualities that you like to look for when you take a trade. We're under all moving averages too as well, so there's really nothing here telling us that we're in good shape. We need volume to be able to exceed this most recent moving average, and it's not even doing that. So again, low volume provides selling pressure. So I know it feels weird to short a coin that's this low, but there's a lot of success there too if you look at the right things. Okay, so having said that, the daily time frame is truly bearish. 4-hour time frame is transitioning here. It's trying to make a move, but it hasn't happened yet. We still see money flow index extremely low. Stochastic RSI swinging up, and RSI held above 30. Generally, when you see 30, you're going to see somewhat of a relief rally. This is what happened when we got closer to 30 last time on the RSI. So we could very well see a push up to the $27 to $28 mark. There's a chance of that, okay? So just know that's a possibility, but from the overall standpoint, from the macro, doesn't look great. 4-hour time frame, trying to converge in the MACD. If that does happen, and we break above 50 on the RSI, which would probably have to make sure, we'd probably have to close above 27.30 to be safe, just to close above the more recent support. Turn to resistance, there's a good chance we're going to see the price action be held underneath that level. That's a 0.5 fib level, and it's going to take some volume to get through there. The whole point of this is if we close at or close to that support level, that resistance rather, of roughly 0.5 fib, 27.40, then there's a decent chance we might see the price continue higher up to the more recent level at $28, okay? But again, I think that's a bit of a hope and a prayer for the moment. It's not really super reliable, if you will, because it's just kind of one of those weird things. What I mean by weird is that there's no real sign on a lot of time frames, minus overextending itself and bouncing off that 30 range for the RSI. We can see a lot of resistance here with the Ichimoku cloud. The conversion line's within the within the price action, and the baseline is just below the conversion line. So there's a small amount of momentum here, but there's nothing else telling us that we're good to go. So if you take a long right now, you're just kind of being, I don't know, I wouldn't say you're being dumb, but you're not being smart. It's not wise to take a long into a situation like this, okay? We want to wait for confirmation. To me, confirmation is going to come closing above the cloud, 27.40 or higher. We're over 50 on the RSI. We got a MACD convergence. We got some things going for us. Right now, there's like 95% of the chart is telling us do not take a long position. Good news is we did see a tremendous amount of buying pressure right here, implying that this support at $26 is potentially going to hold. You could also argue that with that much buying pressure, there was equal as much selling pressure, and that is a point of contention where the bulls are exhausted and the price could very well continue lower. I'm leaning more towards that, just based on the simple fact that we have a lot of motivation to push the price down to this low $24 mark, and I think there's a solid consideration for that to happen. Okay, keep in mind too, we've broken below our most recent low here. That's never a good look. Okay, so generally speaking, that's not good. There's nothing great about that. Keep in mind, there's a liquidation has occurred there too, so there's a possibility that the price could recover because it's swept that lower level. But there's a lot more there left, and with Bitcoin, I don't really trust Bitcoin right now, especially leading into the Fed meeting today. Future reference, the Fed meeting is today, and they are going to provide with the FOMC results, inflation data, the whole 9 yards. It's generally going to be a trashy conditions to trade. So I just avoid trading on days like this altogether. Personally, while I have traded in the past with some success and some failures, it kind of washes itself out. Like the last time we took like 3 or 4 trades to the upside, they all went to trash. All went down. But prior to that, we took a bunch of longs with great success. So just get ready for some interesting behavior here. So suffice to say, the important thing to walk away here with, there's a point of control. The local point of control is at 0.5 fib level at 27.40. If the price comes up to that level, I think it'd be a solid consideration to consider shorting at that level. Okay, so I'm going to actually set alerts at this range here, just so I can be notified if the price comes into that range. Okay, and I'll reevaluate, see if it's worth taking a short at that point, because everything here is bearish. There's no other way around it. Okay, all right. If you do take a long or a short, just use low leverage, low position sizing today, because again, the FOMC does throw things off, and it's best not to try to go. You don't want to flip a coin when you're trading. That's generally the concept. All right, I hope that makes sense. I described that correctly. Thanks again so much for watching. Once more, if you do want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site linked down below. I would recommend you read through my signals guide if you are part of my community and you're newer to the group. It's important to kind of recognize these things are super important and relevant. Also, check out our Trade Alerts channel here. These are awesome little updates that I provide pretty much daily here with majority coins that I cover, giving you specific levels and everything you want to kind of understand. I discussed this yesterday. Again, previous support, 27.30 is a new resistance. Fib level at $26 and point of control is 27.70. So keep in mind, these are all just important things that I like to provide for you. So I hope you find benefit. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.